Welcome back to the Titanium Entertainment Show. This is episode 4. We're talking this week's movie news, trailers, and the review of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Just me? Okay.
I thought I'd let you there because you missed last week, so I'm going to let you do it.
Yeah, and I'm now on strike from music, so...
Nick's back, everyone.
Nick's back.
Oh.
In the house. Alex here.
And Jimmy.
And Nick, of course.
And
He's back.
You're not going to introduce yourself?
I said Nick's back. Alex said Nick's back. We all knew.
Yeah, no, he is back after a leave of absence for a week.
Hiatus.
I was.
And you probably have to miss another one, I realised.
I will be, yes.
yeah.
I have very important international business.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
My only thing is that the quality now of podcasts is just going up and down.
Very inconsistent.
I'll let you guys decide
Very
whether
inconsistent.
this is an up or a down.
This I don't think will be a big one this week, honestly. We just saw today. Within a few hours ago, we saw Jurassic World, technically 5. It is kind of 2 in its own right because they are sequels, so it's 5 and 2 at the same time.
At all. It's just Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, I know, but it is the 5th, and you've got 2 written on your thing there, so
That's just laziness.
exactly. So I'm calling you out on it. You guys need to
No
see
one saw that,
You need to see
though.
the backstage.
Can anyone see that, though?
Raven,
They
they
heard you
hand-
say 2 and 5.
Exactly.
Didn't see anything from me.
Well, you're writing the notes. You claim you're Captain Big News, and you fucked up already.
I mean, you cut half me news, so I'm going to take where I can.
I mean, not half an hour, just cut your trailers. Yeah, movie trailers this week. We had Creed 2 drop, I think, the day after we recorded, or 2 days after, very quickly.
I think the day after.
Comes out later this year. What do you guys think?
Looks good.
Yeah,
I'm keen.
really pumped from the trailer.
Drago's back. I guess. Actually, no, Drago is back, and his son.
And his
'Cause he
son,
was
more
confirmed
importantly.
Dolph
Yeah.
Lundgren.
It's,
Importantly,
well,
how
it's-
dare you?
Well, no, the movie's
I
about him.
imagine it
It's
will
not.
be,
It's more
yeah.
important that fucking his son's there, because
Is
if
he
he's
gonna be his
fighting
trainer,
Drago,
though?
he'd probably win.
Do you reckon he's his trainer?
I mean, yeah, but
I
still
reckon
not as
Drago's
important as his son will be in the
Creed's
movie.
trailer. Putting that one out there.
Huh?
He's Creed's trailer. I'm putting that one out there.
He come back and betrays his own son. He's
Yeah.
like, fuck this. He's like, you need to kill him like I killed your dad. And
Yeah.
they...
End of the movie, it's just a big old family reunion.
I feel like
Everyone's-
Drago's not really a bad guy, though, after
He's
the ending.
kind of not. Yeah. He's
He
not.
kind of... He went against the... He chokeholded the Prime Minister or whatever it is.
He
Exactly.
still killed a man and said, let him die. So,
No,
how
he
good
said
are you?
if he dies, he
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah.
Well,
It's out of
but
his
he
hands.
let him
At that
die,
point,
though.
the other
He
guy
didn't
could have
out.
dropped out.
What was he going to do? Perform CPR on him?
Not kill him?
Yeah, but he punched him. He didn't mean to kill him.
But he wasn't remorseful at all, which shows he's not a good guy.
The other
He
dude
might not be a
should've-
bad guy, not a good guy.
The other dude should have bailed as soon as he heard him say that. I would have. The guy is a
If I'm
scary
killing
man.
someone, I'm sitting there going, my bad. He never... I didn't... Do we hear a my bad?
I don't think he needed it.
Yeah, I think he's justified.
You agree to a fight?
I mean... You can agree to a fight. You're not agreeing to a fight to kill him. So if you kill him, maybe go, you know what, guys, that's my
Yeah,
one.
but that's
It's
like
on me
it's
today.
assumption of risk. There's no lawsuit there.
No, I'm not talking about lawsuits. I'm
No,
just
but I'm
talking
saying-
about in the
He's
soul. If
not
you
the
kill a
man.
man, you go, my bad.
I'm sure he's hurting about it. Like
Yeah.
he's also.
But I want a my bad. It's not much. I'm
But
not
that's
asking
out of
for.
his character.
I'm
He
not
needs to
asking.
present
Sorry,
himself.
exactly. So you're saying a good guy would say my bad.
Like, Drago as himself is kind of a character from the Prime Minister using him as like a puppet, as like the big scary Russian.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's not a good. I'm not saying bad guy. Just saying
maybe
not a
it's
good
just
guy.
a Russian thing. Maybe
Yeah, you
there's a
racist against
race
Russians?
discrepancy here.
All right, here we go. I'm out.
Now, Nick, you're back in the good books. Al, you're out.
Fuck it. I'm fine with being
Alex
racist
will be
against
missing
Russians.
next
Fuck
week's
Russians.
episode.
Are you kidding me?
Ooh.
Whoa, yeah.
Oh, am I pissing off our Russian fan base here? Sorry, guys.
Just to
No,
clarify,
they're just listening. That's all.
the entire podcast does not hold the beliefs of Alex Davies. We're safe. Me and you, Nick, we're clear.
Go fuck yourself.
No, but back to the movie. Creed, I'm pumped. That was
The
a
first
cool
one was good.
trailer.
And yeah, it was really good. The first Creed, that is. Get the fuck out of here, Cat. And I've told you this is what was going to happen. I said this, guys. I was predicting it. I'm fucking Nostradamus predicting the cat will
the cat
interfere,
out?
and it took 4 minutes. Nah, the cat is going to want food, even though I just fed it. This is content for you guys to know what dealing with a cat. Don't get a cat, guys. Cats can fuck off. Honestly, I didn't get a cat. This is my mum and dad's cat. The dog's an OG. The dog, I fucking love the dog.
I was going to drop
The
if you're a cat
can fuck
person,
off.
unsubscribe, but we can't risk that yet.
No, I mean,
At 100 subscribers,
if you're
I
a
want
cat
that to go
person, you're a
to-
bad person. Putting that out there. I don't mind.
but keep
if you,
watching.
If you like cats, okay. But if you like cats more than dogs,
Yeah, all right.
I don't
We're gonna
wanna
have
know
to
you.
take control of this.
I
and
don't
get back
wanna
on
know
topic,
you.
boys.
Sorry.
Let's just make a cat dog podcast. Should I go and put my shirt on that cat dog and we'll turn that around?
I
Trying
remember
to,
that
look how dumb the
cartoon.
cat is though. Trying to get in a door that was closed. Cats, man. Fuck cats.
Get it back in.
Speaking
Draw
of
it back in.
cats, no segue with cats at
Yeah,
all.
I was gonna say, where are you leading that to? But
Creed looks
Kat
good. I'm ready.
Dennings was in Two Broke Girls. Two Broke Girls leads on to the little Asian man that looks kind of like the little guy from Hangover, which leads us
Also.
to
They
Ed
look
Helms.
nothing alike.
Which Ed Helms.
Let him go.
And then Ed Helms was in Tag, leading us to last week's podcast. You're welcome.
But then how's it get to here? We're still not here.
Well, it's the next week. We're progressing along.
Okay, well,
Well, there you go,
it
guys.
was something. Wasn't what I was expecting.
And yeah, no, we had a few, the Hate You Give trailer and the King of Thieves trailer, which I didn't watch either. And
King of Thieves looks fun. It's based on a true story.
What's it?
You know those old Englishmen? That's what they are. Englishmen. They robbed a jewelry, like
Yeah,
a
okay.
bunch of money. It's
Yep.
based on that. It's not the first movie I think based on that,
On that thing? No, it
but
sounds. Yeah,
this is probably going to be better. It's got Michael Caine.
it sounds like Going
Really?
in Style, the same premise with Michael Caine.
yeah.
What's
It's
this?
just
It
British.
sounds exactly like Going with Style, yet British Michael
Yeah.
Caine.
I'm okay
I mean,
with
it's-
that.
it's
A
based
British
on-
going in style would be fine.
I mean, I love Going in Style. I
There's
like
another
Michael Caine,
big
but
British
Going in
actor in
Style.
it. He's an Oscar winner. I can't remember his name though. You're not going to guess him.
Is he one of the sirs?
I don't
Ralph?
think so. No, it's not that.
Just say the word Ralph, and it's not him. News though, we got a little bit of news this week, and we'll start off with the least news and we'll move into the big one. So Spider-Man got a name thanks to the leak, and I'm saying that with air quotes because they don't give him information now. If they've said that,
Just
he
wanna-
obviously deliberately gave it to him. They're like, "Nah, you can let this out." For like expecting him to leak it because they're not going to give him information unless he with his record.
As much
Record.
as that's true, and I want to keep talking about that, Alex did not do the air quotes. He's a liar.
I didn't know.
No. He'll be in the air.
The second call
I mean,
out.
the podcast cannot see this, Nick. So,
Yeah, and I want to tell the truth to our listeners.
Nick, if we're telling the truth, you're not on no international business trip. So there we go.
You two are getting
well
way too
played.
sidetracked. Continue.
Well played.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah,
I don't even know if you
I'm
mentioned
trying to stay
Yeah.
tracked here, but Nick is pulling me off the rails.
He makes a good point, though. Absolutely would not be feeding
Actually,
him information.
that. I just want
unless
you
they
to
were happy
continue.
and
I'm
we
now
go.
the good guy of the podcast.
This is very uncomfortable for me.
Exactly. You know why he's a good guy on the podcast? Because he's the bad guy outside the podcast, so he has to put on a good, nice, smiling face.
Exactly.
He's the biggest
Lies.
cunt you'll ever meet.
Viewers
Yeah,
don't know
exactly.
that.
Truth to the viewer.
Yeah, Far From Home. Set in European countries, apparently. He's on summer vacation.
Okay.
I don't know whether... I'm assuming with
Just
the
a school trip
A school
of some
trip.
type.
Which
What a
my thing with that, does that
helpful
cut out
plot
Aunt
device.
May?
Or
She'll be in it for
she'll
a
be
little
in it.
I want her in it
Start
for
and
what,
finish.
though? You
Yeah.
don't want a lot of Marissa
I want
There
it.
Tomei?
wasn't a lot for the first Spider-Man. A little bit.
I
not
want
a
an
lot.
Aunt May movie featuring Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
But yeah, I mean, they could have a lot of interesting things setting it in... It says multiple countries, which I guess in
Tony
Europe
Stark
isn't that
kicks
big of a
right too.
deal.
Do we have a European villain?
Ooh.
Mysterio could be European as a magician.
Well, that was the whole thing. I think Mysterio will not be in Spider-Man 2. Was
Did
the
they
report.
confirm that,
I
though?
think that's the heavy rumor is that he will not be in Spider-Man 2.
See, I
So-
think from what the headline was, I think it was just
Isn't
they're not confirming
Doc Ock have a
nor
weird like
denying.
European name? So maybe he's up there around
Yeah,
about.
but he's
doubt-
American
nah.
because it's
You
Otto
know, but
Octavius.
but he could be fucking chilling.
Yeah, Otto
you know,
Octavius.
I'd visit in Fan Band. Up
My
in,
thing against
mean,
that
Germany, I
though,
don't
but
know.
I
that-
don't think they're going to do a second Spider-Man movie with Doc Ock as the villain
Yeah.
in the sequel.
First off,
It's been a long
Octavius-
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Octavius-
still, you don't want to draw comparisons and be like, oh, they're just copying Spider-Man 2 and making Doc Ock the villain.
We don't, but we have been surprised by movie makers in the
Yeah.
past.
At the
Plus,
same
I
time,
don't think the European thing factors in very much. I think
However,
that's just
that-
the setting.
you've seen Green Goblin twice.
Yeah, but the second Green Goblin was kind
Plus-
of... It wasn't really the same.
I feel like,
yeah, I mean, it was the same premise.
and I feel like
Yeah.
the Green Goblin is okay because I arguably, and you know,
It's his biggest villain.
yeah,
Doc
arguably.
Ock's up there though.
Yeah,
Doc
Doc Ock's up
Ock's,
there.
yeah, he's top 5.
Like who the Vulture's not as big as Doc Ock.
The
Never really
Vulture
used
isn't.
him.
But
Who
we're
they
very
have?
happy with that.
They're both Sinister Six, so they're kind of equal level threat.
Yeah, but
no, but I think
not
Doc
in-
Ock holds his own normally, and then
Yeah.
I don't recall hearing about the Vulture outside of the Sinister Six too much. However, like if we're talking just happens to be over in Europe, that could literally be anyone.
Yeah, no, I don't think that'll factor into who it is. I think that's just change of setting, keep it fresh.
What do we got? You've written Spider-Man spin-off. What do we got
Yeah,
there?
Silk. They want to make a Silk movie, which is a female Spider-Man but she's kind of an assassin at the same time as well.
So
It's
female Spider-Man, but
Yeah,
not
doesn't wear the mask.
Spider-Woman, not
No,
Spider-Man.
no. She's kind of an anti-hero. She's an assassin with similar powers to Spider-Man.
Interesting.
But yeah,
Marvel?
yeah.
Yeah.
Who
I
else?
mean, well, I don't know, fucking Marvel.
Yeah, no, there was I can't remember who they had, but the studio is pushing hard for it. Someone within there really wants this movie.
I mean,
I mean,
it
it could be
sounds
fun.
cool.
Yeah,
Based
no,
entirely off that.
it kind of works. I don't know. The hard thing is they normally bounce her off Spider-Man as like the somewhat villain of the story of him trying to get her to not do bad things. So I don't know whether it can work by itself, but someone wants it. So, and it's come up a couple of times.
And we've also got Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, new Ninja Turtles.
Returning in some form. They haven't confirmed what their role
I think they
will
said
be.
it's not a sequel to.
Well, I think they've
existing
said it's
things.
not a sequel, but it's like they've not confirmed it's a sequel, but they've not said it's not at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they're saying we're making a new one. Whether what
Yeah.
we're going to do with that, I think, is yet to be confirmed. I think that is on the par to either reboot the whole thing again or give us 3.
That is super unhelpful. If it's not a sequel, it could be a prequel.
Well, the second one was.
No, it won't be. If it'll either be a sequel or a reboot. It won't be a prequel.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The first and second were critically panned, so I don't know if they're gonna.
I don't know about the first. The second one definitely was. The first
A
one
lot
was.
of people didn't like the first one.
I wouldn't say a lot,
I
but it
think
wasn't. It was. It made.
there was a
It made
decent-
some money, and
Yeah.
it pleased majority of people.
There
so I don't
were a
think it's a problem.
decent wedge of people that didn't like it, but I think for something
Yeah.
like Ninja Turtles, there's always got to be. Just
The
'cause
problem
it's
with
like,
Ninja Turtles was Michael Bay and the actual side of the Turtles. The movie itself, people weren't as bad, but people were just being fanboy bullshit and they're going, "No, they're too fucking big," and Michael Bay's just exploding cunts, and that was the
I mean,
complaint.
I don't
If I
think the
close
first one
my
was
eyes,
that good
they're
of a
here.
movie though. Like it's fun, but when you
It's-
really boil down, like,
Yeah, but it's not a bad. Like you got a lot of fucking movies that are getting sequels that are a hell of a lot worse
oh
than
yeah,
that
no,
shit.
Yeah,
no,
no shit.
definitely.
Yeah.
And it made a lot more money than a lot of movies
Yeah,
did.
I'm just saying though, when they've got two that weren't really hits.
Again, I'm going to say 1 because the first one made a lot
I
of
mean,
money
if
and
you look
was.
up reviews though, it's not very good.
But even just comparatively to other Ninja Turtle movies,
Yeah.
Everyone
I
loves
think
other
the
Ninja
TMNT made more money than that one won.
It might have, I don't know. But the original, bring back the original Turtles,
The-
men in suits.
Let's see that puppet action.
And then they can do their guitar show that they did.
No shit.
Live
Vanilla
music.
Ice.
Yeah.
Let's get it back.
And then we got a big thing going on that kind of implies Star Wars. But the thing with Star Wars is that they might be on hold, which apparently is false. They've
Yeah,
said they
it's-
came out and they heard that rumor and said Star Wars isn't on hold. That's all bullshit. You can shut the fuck up.
Yeah, the thing with that though, they had a counter argument to that is that their slate that they were meant to announce has now been completely gone. They had a slate where they were going to announce future movies, and they've gone back on that and said, "No, we're not ready to release that yet." So that's why everyone's kind of calling bullshit on them saying things aren't on hold, or at least they don't know what they're doing.
I
in
mean,
what
yeah,
order.
but
It's just going to
how-
be transition period, though. It
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
be, hold doesn't necessarily have to be hold. I think
Yeah.
there will be a delay, and I'd be fine with that, I think.
The point of the story is that they're kind of in a weird position right now where they don't know what they're doing at
Yeah,
what times.
back to the storyboard.
Yeah, scheduling, trying to work out what needs to be done first. Which apparently they really want to focus on Ryan Johnson's trilogy, which
It's not a good idea.
it could probably be good, but with the fan reaction to Last Jedi, they should definitely not be focusing on that.
Little bit of news segues in that. They've got a heavy little bit of fan. I don't know what the word I'm using here is. They've put claims out to remake it Last Jedi, and it's now got.
Stupid.
Oh no! It's now got budget, and it's now got like everyone's getting behind this.
It's not gonna happen,
It's
though.
absurdity,
Shouldn't
but
be, yeah.
it's not gonna. It should not happen. But they're building up a lot of steam with it. It's
If
more
one-
than ever in the last
Yeah,
week.
but
That's-
100% it will not happen. I would bet my life on the fact that it won't happen.
I hope just for creative integrity.
If it happens,
and standards.
The
for
only
movies.
thing that they're going to do with, I think, from this is JJ's going to try and retcon some things in the sequel.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're not going to remake the
no.
movie. And then
The reason
ignore
they
one
won't
that
remake
put
the
one
movie
into.
is because they admit if they remake it, they admit it sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, I
That's
don't think we can say it sucked because it's a 50-50 split with most of the audience.
Oh no, it does not deserve a remake at all.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
definitely
such
not
a
that
weird.
bad.
I don't think there's been a movie so decisive in a long while where it's literally people either like it or they hate it.
Funny thing about Star Wars,
I'm kind of in a
fans,
weird spot now, though, where I liked it, and I'm slowly sliding towards dislike.
See, I never really loved it. I was pretty anti it from the get-go, but it's still, like...
It's a good movie. You can't say it's not a good movie.
No, my issue was it didn't feel like it was in the context of the rest of Star Wars.
Yeah,
but if you saw that movie with no Star Wars ever existing before, you'd think that'd be a pretty fucking good movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah,
definitely doesn't deserve a remake.
From a filmmaking point and things like that, it was good. You cannot like what they did story-wise, character-wise, and things like that, taking liberties with the past.
No one hates a movie more than a Star Wars fan hates Star Wars.
Oh, the worst fans by far. We're all part of it, but... yeah.
So it's messy. But, like, what would that do to the movie industry? It's just like, oh, yeah, we didn't like that movie, do it again.
Yeah, well, it's never been done before.
Yeah,
again,
not like that.
It'll come up, I feel... With the steam and attraction it's getting, I think JJ is going to go back on a lot of things The Last Jedi did. I
think because he was stepping out, wasn't he? He was like, I don't want to necessarily interfere too much.
Yeah,
he couldn't.
Yeah,
he wanted to. Yeah. He wanted to. Like, you're doing it, and then they're like, no, this is Ryan Johnson's movie, and they couldn't do much about it.
Because he originally signed on for one film, said he wasn't going to do another one, but then after making the first one, he kind of said he wanted to. Which at that point is understandable. It was too late.
I mean, it was stupid in Disney's defense to sign on a second director before the first one had finished and came out because
But JJ said at the start, I
know,
but
you have enough time to just let the movie mellow, let the movie think, and then maybe let JJ go. Because you gotta, as filmmakers as well, you gotta go. Okay, he said he won't do another one, but you know what? He might change around after filming, after the movie's release, after watching it, after hearing the stuff that everyone loved the movie. Rethink it because I think
my thing with that though, I don't think it would have been much different because this isn't just on director. It's they had a set story from episode 7 that the writers knew this is where they were going and was approved by LucasArts and Kathleen Kennedy and stuff like that.
They're pretty like fucking cartoonish with the way they release stories and shit. For tech, like we don't know who was in on the entire trilogy story.
Well, apparently, J.J. Abrams did give help on some aspects of episode 9.
Like,
so I guess he somewhat approved of it.
Yeah, I would be fucking blown away if he didn't.
Yeah.
Plus, I think there might have been a bit of panic at the end of that one, just with Carrie Fisher and stuff, so we don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, they handled that poorly, though, in film. Like
Sorry, yeah.
We won't get into
let's
that.
Not do Star Wars.
That's another time.
They're not remaking it. That's not going to happen.
But Disney is getting a bit horny. And they've put in a very big deal to Fox that Fox has accepted, but they're not official yet because they have to wait. They're in a bidding war with Comcast, and Comcast has to kind of throw up the white flag and say, "We're done. You can have it."
Disney's gonna win.
Disney's gonna win.
For sure.
Yeah,
but they're gonna control everything in the future. Disney is the future government. I'm calling it now. Come back to this podcast in the dystopian future.
Question is though, are we upset with that?
Yes.
Okay.
We do not want one thing controlling everything.
Like they make Marvel.
Yeah, but see, if they own like every property, they could just make shit movies. We can't do anything about it.
I suppose. Yeah.
Like at least now there's an onus competition between other companies and things like that.
As far as the deal goes, though, from the time we were recording the podcast, current bid is, we think, 70-something, 71?
90 billion.
97.
97, yeah, I was going to say, I saw one a minute. Yeah, that's a lot of money. I'd be happy with that. True.
What do you guys think of the Fox Disney deal, though?
I think it's all just Stanley going, let's get them all back together.
The crossover potential, I like it, but...
See, I don't like it from that perspective. I like the other. I like the aspect that Disney can go, let's make some good-ass fucking X-Men movies. I don't like this whole X-Men Avengers crossover.
They're going to make X-Men movies. They're just going to build kind of like this built to Infinity War. It's going to build to like an Avengers versus X-Men or something.
That's not. I'm happy about the aspect of we're making new X-Men movies because we've been very inconsistent with the X-Men movies the entire way through. It's not even like a period of film because we'd had X-Men 2 was phenomenal and X-Men 3 was a bit shaky, and then the Wolverine, and then you had First Class, which was phenomenal, and then went back to Apocalypse, and that was like they've been inconsistent. I'm not talking about every single one, but like the consistency is not there. So with Disney, maybe you get some consistency, maybe you get a lot of good, guaranteed, great films. Yeah. I just think it'd be too much for the X-Men Avengers movie.
I think so.
Put it this way.
I'd be.
You can say this now. If they drop a trailer for like Avengers vs X-Men, you're gonna nut.
Probably. I think what might happen, and I think I'd be okay with it, is like cheesy cartoon crossover style where they only pick a couple of characters from each and send them somewhere else so they can't physically run into the others.
I'm fine with that because as a fanboy, I will go and I'll be really excited to watch that movie. But I know that it's going to be way too much on the screen. I know there's going to be way too much character. There's going to be way too much going on. That's what I don't want.
Put it this way though,
So,
by
yeah,
the time
I'm
they
thinking-
get to there, a lot of the Avengers could be gone. That's the plan, to cut back.
But
most of them.
even still, like
You've got to select.
If they've got like a
characters.
core group of 6 Avengers versus a core group of X-Men,
I think
it kind of works.
6
in
and
that.
6 to have each character be a main would be a bit too much. If they were maybe 4 and 4,
Like with Civil War. I mean,
but
like in that style.
Civil War was yeah.
You're going to have your 2 main, 2...
Yeah, I think that would
And
be
then you're gonna have
fucking
their side
Cap
cast
versus
backing them up.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
I'd be really happy to see Wolverine keep going as he is.
Plus, even things with like bringing over more interesting villains into the MCU from the X-Men universe they
could be
don't
good.
own.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with a toned down version of that where it is only a select dozen.
Yeah.
But giving us a whole team of Avengers and a whole team of X-Men in one film is too much.
But yeah,
I trust Marvel and MCU
Because they rode
studios.
I loved Infinity War, but they rode the line, and a lot of people missed out on parts of that movie.
yeah,
There were
that's-
people that
Yeah.
didn't get the screen time they deserved.
But a lot of
and
those
you can
characters
imagine.
too, I
Yeah.
think people just don't really care too much other than
I-
the core 4.
The biggest thing that I didn't like with Infinity War, and Infinity War was one of my favorite movies of the year, but I still say this, it did a lot of switching. As soon as you got invested in one thing happening, it switched to another thing, and then you're like,
Yeah.
the next thing that happening was dope as hell, and you went, okay, that scene was awesome. Can we see some more? Oh no, we're going to go to this scene. Okay, that's also awesome. But you're going to get the same thing with X-Men if
See,
there's a lot of people.
I was on the
fair.
opposite belief of that, where I thought that worked to its strength of just bouncing back and forth, keeping you invested in multiple storylines
I think
at once,
it
and
was-
kind of breaking up the pace so it's not just one constant block of...
yeah. I think it
this to
was
that.
annoying, but in the way that a cliffhanger is annoying, but it's a good movie technique.
Yeah.
I think they handled the balancing of screen time as well as they possibly could. I like
yeah,
that
no,
they
they-
didn't try to do more than what they were capable with. They made like a Thanos movie
Yeah.
that featured other people. But regardless, with the Fox and Disney deal, I'm happy because Fox has a lot of talent. I'm happy those people can possibly still have jobs. That's
Yeah.
my, like, obviously not limited to, but just Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, for example. It'd be great to see him continue.
Well, he said he might come back.
He might come back.
Again, though, that has nothing to do with it. Like, I mean,
That
the
doesn't
deal,
yeah, no,
he could be
but
going
even,
now.
Even something as like even Lucifer. Fox was obviously struggling to keep its talents around, and it's maybe not got the production quality and whatever it might be. It might be just organization of the company. It might be anything, but
Again,
have-
that's viewership.
Yeah.
That's literally nothing to do with anything.
Yeah,
at all.
but
I
yeah,
think
so-
the problem you're picking there had nothing to do with this
no,
deal.
but just like they've run out of money somewhere. I'm glad.
I don't think it's running out of money. I think it's then they could be making more money, so why not? No one's watching
Well, no,
Lucifer.
the thing is, if it's a merger, there's Fox's no...
Oh yeah, no, this is not. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Towards
no,
the merger,
sorry,
yeah, but
yeah.
like to
You have a
like
point,
Lucifer,
but-
it's not. I think Lucifer is and like this whole and Wolverine, Hugh Jackman not being around is totally different to this deal. I think that's a totally different thing.
Well, I mean, Hugh Jackman said, though, if it goes to Marvel...
You know,
he's-
because obviously he's going. Okay, I can rejuvenate a little bit. I can do
Yeah.
that, but like because
Yeah, no, okay.
it's
so
his choice not
he's
being there.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's
It's
not,
not 'cause Fox
necessarily
don't have the
coming
money.
back. Lucifer's, yeah, okay. You know what I mean, though.
It's all choices. It's
I
the
think
deal.
you know what
it's
I mean.
not
I-
Fox
Nick's-
Fox haven't got their arm tied and going, we're fucked if Disney doesn't pick us
Yeah,
up.
no.
They're just choosing to do
Nick-
things they're doing.
I think
Yeah.
what Nick's trying to say is just kind of organization of, like, properties and knowing what they want to do and when type of thing. They kind of need someone to oversee it, I feel.
I think they're not. I don't think they're functioning great as a company. That's how it looks from the outside without knowing anything from
Yeah.
the inside, and then that's all
That's
we
what I mean.
can know.
Disney owning will bring it structure, essentially.
Yeah, and give it the money to be able to go. Oh yeah, Lucifer's, and it will like money's involved in it. There is a chance Lucifer, for an example, might have just been some dickhead never looked at like the streaming aspect of viewership. I don't know, but Disney would have done that. Disney would have
Again,
known
I don't
about this,
agree with that.
and they would have enough disposable money.
They don't
to
make
either-
enough money from streaming.
Huh?
They don't make the streaming they were doing. They don't
Disney
make enough money
would
from.
have enough disposable
With the,
money.
I
to
agree
just
what
keep
you're trying to
going.
say, but Lucifer's not the example because Lucifer's all about viewership and they're not getting the viewership. And like
Disney
of
would have
story
had the
with
money to be
Lucifer.
able to throw whatever it needed at it to get it the viewership.
Disney would have cancelled Lucifer as well if it wasn't in the views. That's what it
I
came
don't know.
down to. That's honestly that they've said that's what it came, because everyone loved the show, everyone was watching the show, they were getting great reviews, and it had nothing to do what Fox couldn't do anything more with it. It was just because no one was tuning in, because no one watches week to week TV anymore.
Yeah.
All right, close that up.
Moving on, we'll go to the review of the week. We saw Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. This was Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard again. This time they got the new shit going on in the Jurassic World. Bang, got it.
The literal Jurassic World.
That was
Spoilers.
that was that was kind of my implement. But thank you for clearing that up. What do you think?
I liked it.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, mate.
It was...
Did a lot of things couldn't have done better, but it was fun.
Yeah.
What do you think it could have done better?
Not be the exact same movie as the first one.
See, I don't think it was the same movie as the first one.
Pretty damn close.
I don't feel the first one was almost identical to the first Jurassic
What were they
Park.
trying to do with the dinosaurs?
Well, I guess that's a story thread though. Continuing.
That's
though.
the storyline.
I
They're
think-
trying to get.
'cause
They're
that-
trying to take these dinosaurs and turn them into weapons.
But
was
that
the
didn't
first
play
one.
a big part in the first one, really. It was just one guy that was there constantly.
And that's
bringing
why
it up.
everything got fucked, because they were trying to turn the weapons. That's why they made the.
No, the Indominus was just made because they wanted a new
it was an
attraction to bring up park
in
numbers.
the first one.
Why did they make it
To
that way?
break- 'cause they
like
needed
literal
something new.
attraction.
You know, but why did they make it that way? Who made it?
Well, BD Wong made it. His
Exactly,
character.
and who was he working for?
No, he worked for the park. They say because
Did you not watch the movie? I watched the movie last night. He was secretly working for the dude, the army dude. Did you not watch it?
but his thing. The
You know,
whole-
that was why that was on the outside. Why? But the reason he made it the way it was for that exact reason.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it the same. Like
But that was the whole point of the whole like twist in that movie, was that he was making it actually because like this guy was telling him to make it. And that's pretty much what they were trying to get, a weapon, and that was the whole thing, to set up these weapons. The whole
Yeah,
point was he
but-
made it like way so then it would break out, and then they'd have to
Well, no,
like
it wasn't meant
the
to break out.
I mean, but the Raptors are there to save the day, and the Raptors are there to use a weapon, and they kind of did that. Obviously not with the Raptors. They're kind of doing the same thing in the movie. The same thing set up. Oh, what do we do? Who's got the problem? Oh, Chris Pratt can help out. Let's go and get Chris Pratt to deal with the problem. Oh, we're gonna have the exact same end sequence where we're running from the exact same fucking dinosaurs. I'm not hating on the movie at any point, but I'm just pointing out it's very, very eerily so.
disagree.
You're in the minority there, because I've heard that a lot of big problems with that.
Where are you on this?
Probably interpret it more as a continuation.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But I understand your point.
I'd say in the first one, that whole arc of that was to set seeds. That wasn't like the main point of
yeah,
that story.
it
That
was
was just a
pretty
little small
seed-setting.
part of it. And then this is kind of
Okay,
what comes
saying
from it.
with the seed setting, I feel like this movie is a seed setter for 3, and it could have. I feel like this whole movie itself, although fun and a good time, is setting the seeds to what happened without getting into it.
We've
happening in
probably
3.
already fucked up no spoilers at this point, haven't we?
Not really.
Somewhere in there.
No, we haven't mentioned anything.
We're talking about the first one.
Yeah. the first
No, I
Again, you said this the other night, and I rewatched it, and we haven't.
okay.
I'm pretty good with what I'm
Yeah,
saying. and I know.
Potentially, okay, cool. So just
You know, my
Sorry,
thing
I'm
with that,
just
though,
trying to figure out
anytime
whether
you're going
I
to
go
have a
spoiler
sequel
or not.
coming, there's always an aspect of setting the seeds for the next one. I don't think this is the same as the first one because
No, yeah, okay, yeah, not on that aspect, but no, this movie basically was always there. This after watching
Sorry,
this
1 or
movie
2?
to way 2,
Yeah.
the way this movie was set, it was kind of leading up to something bigger that we're seeing in 3. As a movie itself, again, it is fun, but looking at that aspect, it was definitely a seed setter.
yeah, but then like the same thing could be said about the first. Then, if your whole point was that that
'cause
whole
the first
story
one
arc played a
itself
big
was
point.
the first one we saw. It was setting up its own world, setting up its own story. This one was
Yeah.
just following on with that and going, this is the bridge way to 2.
But see,
To 3, sorry.
if you've got a complaint with this being too similar to that, then you'd have to have a problem with the first one being the same as the original.
Yeah, no, I never said that.
Like the difference between the original and
The thing- okay,
Jurassic World
the
compared to
reason-
this and Jurassic
The
World
thing,
is different.
Okay, no. Okay, the thing with the original Jurassic Park and World is they're very similar, but what makes them different is the 30-year difference. You got different actors, you got different abilities, you got different time zone.
Can you write on that as a movie? Like, is that okay? Are you guys okay with just going, hey, yeah, we're going to do it again, and it's going to be the exact same, but...
Well, I mean, people
newer?
have problems with Force Awakens doing the same thing. It is kind of a problem, but
I don't... Yeah.
It depends how it's done.
Again, just movie makers out there, obviously listening to our podcast.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't just rely on age.
You can
being
still
only
enjoy it,
separate.
and I didn't say it's
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying it because of it, but it was. It was very similar.
No,
Yeah.
I understand your
Yeah.
point. I just
Yeah.
I didn't see that whatsoever. I thought this was a completely different film to the first one.
I'm somewhere in the middle.
Another thing, the thing with when it comes to movies, and I'm talking about movies, I generally get into the things they could have done better instead of getting the things they should have done. They did well, but if we get into something they could, when is Owen Grady turned into a superhero? Because he was dropping dudes on the left, right,
Well,
and
he's
center,
a
and
he's a
outrunning a
former
fucking
Navy SEAL.
volcano. He was outrunning a volcano.
He was. I
Yeah.
did have a couple of moments in there, and I'm like, is he meant to be that good? And like, sort of like he works with dinosaurs,
no.
really fast dinosaurs. I expected maybe like crazy good reaction time.
Yeah,
Wasn't he a
instinct, but
tracker
not
in the
like-
Navy SEAls?
Well, he's still a Navy SEAL.
Yeah, they
He's
would
essentially
drop.
the
They
point.
would still.
But
have to go
how
through
many of the
training.
guys that this rich guy was working for?
Yeah,
you can say
yeah.
he's got drop kick security guards where he
I
can
mean,
take out
that-
9 in a row.
that
and
just
like
comes down to
fucking
movie.
Superman.
I
That's
think,
movie
to
magic.
be honest, if we get down into that, there's a fair bit of that movie that was like.
And that's
maybe
what I'm saying.
luck
Yeah.
or-
That's what I'm saying.
So
It was-
you gotta let that ride to
Yeah,
enjoy
that's
it.
what I mean. That's kind
If you
of
guys aren't,
That's what I'm saying. It was enjoyable,
yeah,
and that.
if you're not the
that's
type
what
of
I'm
person
saying.
who can sit there and be okay with that watching it,
I
which
think a
some
lot of people have a
are,
problem
Yeah.
with that. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
Yeah.
what- to
then you
dig
might
down
not-
to
you
that,
might
you
not-
kind of have to be looking for it. Like
a little bit. Yeah, I noticed it.
I
but
wasn't.
I-
yeah, you notice
I
it.
sat there being okay with it. If you're not
Yeah.
the type of person who
No,
would
no,
watch
yeah,
it,
I'm not saying
Yeah, no,
at all
just,
I didn't
like-
enjoy it
Because
because
my
of
thing
it,
with that
but-
though is in the first one they did make a point to clarify he's former Navy SEAls. He's got all these skills.
Yeah,
and
but,
things like
but
that.
the way they did take it was to the extreme
I
of that.
I
of that
didn't
point.
think about that, so that made it a little bit easier for me.
Yeah.
But
No,
again, yeah, like it was still fine. We all
Yeah.
quite
I-
loved it.
you
If
know,
you're
I
not that
do-
type of person, you might not enjoy the movie. Sorry.
That's why I do think a lot of people won't maybe get this movie because this movie does a lot of questionable things. It's enjoyable. I don't think it's much more than an enjoyable movie though. Can you tell me it was
I
really, really well done? It was done, but it was good and it was enjoyable. But can you go? That was a really good movie. It kind of flirted. Was it a horror? No, but it tried to be.
it was yeah.
It flirted with that a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It gave you a lot of intense music, and then it didn't lead to anything that intense, or a lot of cool. Oh, that's going to be a dope shot.
Except,
Let's just
you
film
know,
that for the sake of
fucking
having the
dinosaurs.
T-Rex just sitting on top of the fucking building and going.
that.
And get like that's a dope scene.
Yeah.
Let's chuck that in.
So many
It was-
fucking
it
honey
was
dicks. I was
definitely
waiting for that
enjoyable.
side
Yeah.
shot where you got the
My
perfect
thing with that
logo
though
silhouette.
is it's on par with what they've done before. It's kind of like in the last one how they set up the big explosion shot behind the dinosaur. It's a Jurassic Park trope, I'd say.
You know, I do agree.
Yeah,
with
it's
that.
one of those things where like it's a pretty normal movie.
Yeah, you got a movie with dinosaurs. You're gonna do a cool shot with like something in the background. Like
No,
the
I'm
moon
yeah, no, I'm
behind
just
it.
saying they did that a
good
fair
movie.
bit in this movie
I think
that I
we're,
noticed.
we're getting maybe a bit spoiled when we got so many like Marvel movie quality movies coming out and shit. This is like it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
It's not the best. There's so many better
Oh,
movies.
yeah, no.
But it's a really good movie. There was first half of the movie felt like a very different movie to the second half, but I liked both the halves individually.
Yeah.
It's just I do agree. It was a fun
Yeah.
movie. Definitely the CG looked phenomenal. Those dinosaurs
yeah.
looked amazing. I
Which
think that's the aspect.
which was
of
a
the movie.
worry for me.
It was never a worry for me because I've seen the first
Well,
one.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but like, sorry, more so the first one.
Yeah.
It was a worry.
We'll
for
put
me.
it this
I'm
way: Do you
yeah,
like the first or second better?
First by far.
See, I like the second better. It had for me, it had more intrigue to it, and kind of the setting change, and not being so close to the original. It was something fresh, and they kind of did this with the dinosaur. Is very similar. That's one thing I'll say was similar with the.
So I can't
Genetic
speak
species.
for the Jurassic fans because I'm not one of them. I like the movies, but there's a lot of fanboys that aren't
hardcore.
pleased with this movie at all.
Well, I mean, the thing.
Apparently, a lot of the things that happen in this movie that I won't tell you guys happen counteract a lot of stuff that they spoke about in 1, 2, 3, and 4 if you want
Yeah,
to.
but see-
Because the thing is, they say 1, 2, 3, and 4 are canon, which that's their fault. You can say it's a remake, but if you consider them canon, you can't take it back. And apparently, it pissed off a lot of people. I'm not going to specify for the sake
my
of
thing
spoilers.
with that though is that 2 and 3 were pretty garbage.
No,
anyway.
and that's the thing. Apparently, a lot of people are saying, Jurassic fans are saying, even 2 and 3 are kind of flirting with this one a little bit. The way
Nah, see, if people are saying that this was on par with 2 and 3, that's out of spite, I'd say.
I wouldn't say 2. I'll give you 3. 2 wasn't as bad. 3, a lot of people say it's awful.
See, I don't think
2,
2 is
a
good
lot
either.
of people
Once-
don't. I think 2 will probably be on par with this one when it comes to fan.
I mean, maybe. I can't speak for an entire group of people, but for
Yeah.
me personally, 2 and 3 don't come near this. I'd say it's the first one is the best, personally, I'd prefer this one over the first Jurassic World.
I'm a bit on the fence there. I think I had more fun with this one. I think I liked the first one better.
You didn't watch the full first one, though.
I've seen it before. I
You
didn't
told me the other
rewatch
night.
it.
Yeah,
No, I've seen it before.
You said you saw the first half. We told you the ending last night.
Anyway, I've seen it before. It was a while ago. I watched the first half of it again the other week.
Okay.
So that's about where I am. But again, I'm not that massively I wouldn't consider myself that kind of a Jurassic Park fan.
Yeah. I would say,
No,
I don't think anyone here is a massive fan.
I rewatched World and it was a lot better than I remember it being. Honestly,
good.
maybe you guys haven't rewatched it though, because I did.
I saw it a couple months ago.
I saw it obviously in the cinemas, and I was like, okay, that was fun, and I enjoyed it, but I never had a really good feeling to go back to it. And then I rewatched, and I was like, okay, this actually was pretty good.
Yeah.
But no, I think it just it's hard because the whole thing with these movies is the dinosaurs, and at some point you do a lot of the same stuff, and that's unfortunately the thing you got to take. And at the end of the day, it comes down to what these movies are. And these movies are dinosaur movies, and they gave us good, fun dinosaur action, so you can't complain too much. But I think they did a lot of things as a movie, not as good.
See, I think this was shot very nicely.
I think
They had some
of the
interesting
cinematography
shadow work
and shit was
lighting work and things like
I'll
that.
give you
beautiful.
that.
Like the opening with the lightning flash with the dinosaur behind the guy.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's a very horror aspect, but it wasn't a horror movie.
Okay. Yeah, there
they
was a
tried
bit
to
of
commit
horror
into
in
a
there.
horror, and they didn't really. Especially if you watch the trailer, which I don't recommend if you have, because it gives a lot away the movie, which was a big complaint when the trailer dropped. Everyone's like, oh, thanks for the movie. I don't need to go to the cinemas now. But it tries to play a lot of horror elements, and it doesn't commit. It doesn't commit to being one genre, which is generally a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, they should have committed to either being a fun action movie or committed to a darker tone. And it would have been, the pacing could have felt more.
My thing is, though, that they kind of, I think it was used to break parts up. Because you don't want just like a non-stop action in a Jurassic Park.
But the way they did it was trying to, they could have slowed it down and they could have broken it up. But then when they did, they're like, okay, let's try to put in this like horror-esque thing.
Well,
and it didn't necessarily click.
It's kind of on par with the first one. Had a little small horror section with the raptors.
Not to the extent this one did.
They couldn't. Maybe they wanted to, but they definitely couldn't have gotten away with a full horror flip at this point.
Oh
in
yeah,
this franchise.
no.
I'm not saying they should have, but they did.
But I think
in scenes attempt to.
I don't know how I feel about it. I would have to think about it, maybe rewatch it. But I think definitely some of that horror stuff they were taking into it made the movie better. Like, definitely contributed towards enhancing those moments.
Yeah.
I didn't get better with that because I just felt like the tone was changing too often. In my opinion.
Well, I mean,
okay.
Yeah. My thing with that though is I feel like it was consistent between like action then built up to a part where they're like unarmed with a dinosaur on the loose, where really, when you think about it, that in real life comes down to a horror moment. You know, you're not on like an island where you can.
Yeah, no, but the way they shot it was to try to make it seem horror-ish, and they didn't necessarily have to do that. Again, the first one does that, but doesn't shoot it horror-ish, and it seems fine.
Yeah, but see, I think they did it well. Like when they're getting creeped through the house without getting into it, but I like that aspect, that because it wouldn't have worked if it was just them sprinting through the house. Because it doesn't work. A dinosaur would
have been a very
like,
short movie if they just sprinted away from every dinosaur.
That's what I mean. Like, I like the slow down, show it like creeping around, which is the little tapping thing. I like that.
I think that's an actual thing.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
I thought it brought something to the movie, the little change in tone. Because see, I'm in the camp that, unlike other people, I don't want a movie to just be consistently just like one thing. You need something to break it up, kind of give a different change in tone. Just to kind of keep it fresh.
Yeah. And I think it's just another one of it's a dinosaur movie thing.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it sounds like I'm talking the movie is bad, because it was. You can go and have a fun time in this movie, and you can watch some cool dinosaur shit.
The guy behind us when we were watching it, he had a great time.
The guy behind us loved it.
He did not see any of that movie coming.
Another thing. Thank you for that. A lot of it came predictable with a lot of the things.
Yeah,
especially the first scene. I saw that miles before I sat down. I knew what was going to happen. When they're, I don't want to spoil it, the first thing that happens, before you even see Chris Pratt or Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
I don't
think that was meant to be not predictable though.
I know, but they did that a lot of the time. And that was another thing with horror aspect. If the way they were doing it tried to make you kind of be like, oh crap, wow, cool.
Yeah.
didn't do it.
So I don't think they went for a scary tone.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't, but they did,
horror-esque.
and that's you got to commit to a tone, and they didn't commit to a
I
tone.
think they were trying to maybe horror is not the best word, maybe more thriller, but like slashery style of thriller, not like
Yeah, I'd say
you know,
that it was kind of a
the
slasher.
Commuter or that sort of a thriller,
Yeah.
but like literally they tried to throw extra suspense in there.
Yeah.
Like anytime something happened with a dinosaur chase, I knew the end game and I knew what the chase was going to lead.
Yeah, there was a bit of that, but again, it's like we not necessarily every movie should be, totally surprising. So again, it's a great Sunday afternoon sort of movie.
Yeah. That's
Actually,
what
it's
I'm saying.
phenomenal.
I
It
think-
might even be a Friday night movie.
I think.
I'll do it. I'll say it.
I mean, I watch movies any day of the week, so it doesn't apply to me.
It's
Yeah, but yeah, it's a good
Saturday
movie.
matinee for me. It does some fun things. That's all it had to do, to be honest. And Chris Pratt was a big part of that. I think the movie definitely gets held on his shoulders a lot of the movie because Bryce Dallas Howard is good and she's a nice character, but she doesn't hold a movie together.
I think she
by
came into
herself.
her own more than the first one.
Oh, I
would say
think
so.
they designed it
Is that
for that way.
character, though?
Yeah. I think that's the way she was written to be. But like
number
Chris
3 would
Pratt,
be interesting.
regardless of what he was doing, it made the movie better.
With what Nick was saying, I like the real slimy businessman.
Yes.
Don't remember the actor's name or the character's name, but I mean,
Okay.
it kind of gets into spoiler if you
Yeah,
say
so
who
we're
it
going
is.
to be
Slimy
careful.
businessman character plays
slimy
it well.
businessman. Let's just
But
we'll do the
characters, yeah.
actor's name.
That was.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of side characters were like just comedy relief characters, which is interesting because you got Chris Pratt. Do you need comedy relief? I don't know. They definitely played into it, but
It wasn't big comedy, which I appreciated.
it was scared comedy because that dude was literally there to just make fucking poo his pants, basically.
Which one's this?
The
Oh, that
tech
guy.
guy.
Ah, okay, yeah.
That was his role.
I
in
thought
the
you
movie.
meant
Can you?
that guy.
No, and yeah, pretty much anything he did in this movie was poo his pants.
Yeah.
And even
I mean,
the
that'd
time-
probably be me if I was
even
on
the,
that.
which I know I said it in the movie. He didn't need to be there, and I know it came down to a point where you needed
Yeah.
him. I feel like someone else could have done that. That wasn't
Yeah,
going.
definitely.
I don't like dinosaurs. I don't like planes.
Yeah.
I don't like islands. I don't like all this shit. It's like, why are you there, bro?
I think
Get
he's
out.
kind of the character that's like relatable, that it's like, that'd be you in that
But
situation.
the difference between me and him, I'm not fucking there. I'm smart enough to
I
go.
think-
Maybe
yeah,
not.
but
I
I
think
guess
to be
circumstances kind of pushed
I
him.
think, to be completely honest, yeah, he was just like a comic relief.
Yeah.
He was.
It
For
probably
sure.
it might have closed, like if they wrote every other aspect of the script except for him, it might have been like it might have closed gaps. But I feel like they put those openings up there just so they could have him there.
I'd say, but then again, when you think about it, Chris Pratt was kind of more action hero in this.
Yeah. I like-
than in the first one. I think he was a lot more comedic.
He's a naturally funny guy,
Yeah.
and I don't think at any stage he sat there and told a joke. Like he was fun.
Oh,
but
that's
so
what I'm saying though.
yeah, I
To
like
break
the,
it up, you could have written him more lines to do that because you
Rather
don't
than-
necessarily
Yeah.
write in a complete different character to do that. Because honestly, that's all he was. He
Yeah.
was
Well,
not.
I mean, it's kind of like Jake Johnson in the first one, though.
Yeah, and I'm not
It's-
complaining
yeah.
it doesn't work, but for some people, he might get
Yeah.
annoying because
I-
he just sits there and cries and makes jokes.
Yeah,
for us
I'd
to
say it's
laugh
just
at.
that character that most of these movies have, where they always throw one.
The
in.
difference between Jake Johnson and this character, though, was Jake Johnson was necessary because he worked there and he was there for a reason. This character could have.
Well, I mean, in
maybe
this
not.
movie, they gave him a reason. That they needed a
But-
tech support guy.
That's what I'm saying, though. But you could easily write him out and go, "Oh, you know what? Bryce Dallas Howard has worked in that department for years. She could figure it out."
Yeah.
Or maybe they don't have that problem. Or like you could easily write him out. Jake Johnson's part of the core of the workplace in the first one, and
Yeah, I
he,
guess.
he wasn't wrote
But
in
at
for
the
a
same
reason.
time, it's like you could just ignore that part and be like,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
probably
no, but the way they
Yeah.
wrote
Yeah.
him in was to just be comic relief, whereas the other character to me
Yeah.
was more just amongst
My
the
thing with
rest.
that, I do understand that, but I'd say that's just this type of movie. You got to expect that type of character. That's
Well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
terrified all the
I
time.
enjoyed his character; he was funny, but a lot of people might not find him funny, and
Yeah,
they could
that's
go,
true.
"Fuck off! This character's getting annoying now."
Yeah.
in a way that I found maybe the other chick was the doctor, other side character, that she didn't really click for me, in my opinion.
She was definitely necessary. I'm glad they threw
Yeah.
that kind of dynamic in, and the thing she does.
Yeah,
you know.
kind of somewhat of an opposite of Chris Pratt, like female equivalent, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's like no nonsense. She's a doctor.
Yeah,
She did play she had a useful role in the film, though. They kind of
Yeah.
yeah. Like and the thing is, she had a reason to be there. She's a big dinosaur
Yeah.
fan. She's a dinosaur doctor. She'd want to come, and
Yeah.
that's
That's true.
That made sense for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Final thoughts on the movie as we wrap it up.
Final thoughts. I liked it better than the first. I'd say used to a opposite of that, but I think the thing that changed it is I go into a movie. I don't look for things I don't like. I go in there to have a good time. And for me, if I had to watch this or the first, I'd have more fun with this. So that's my reasoning behind that.
I don't look for things I don't like. I just see them very obviously.
But I think that's a subconscious thing, though.
No, but I feel like yours is the opposite to most people because you like pretty much anything you watch, and it's very hard for you to like something and go, "Oh yeah, no, I didn't really like that." And you've even stated, "I'll ask you, what." Going for a birthday present, like, what movies do you want? We saw movies last year. What didn't you like? And you're like, I can't find something I don't like, and that's rare.
The thing is, I don't see things I don't like.
Exactly, and I think that's what I'm saying is you're saying subconscious for me to notice it. I think it's subconscious for you to not notice it because a lot of people notice it.
No, see, I notice it, but I understand it's a film and can look past things like that, like characters that scared of everything. That's just something to be expected in this type of film. You know what I mean?
No, I'm saying you can, but I'm saying when it comes to you, you're the one that just looks past everything, and that's a very small percentage of people that do that.
No, see, I think you're closer to a critic than a regular moviegoer that just goes in to see a movie.
For sure, but even then, I
feel like I represent the half that's just like, I'll go see a movie.
Yeah, no, but that is still a very small percentage of people that will just look past everything, and you're in that percentage. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm not saying calling you out for it, but I'm saying you are in a very smul percentage that can just look past a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's just me. Yeah, Again, it comes down to kind of looking, like, I'll see things, but it doesn't bother me in that regard.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's
like them doing a tone shift for me, that keeps it interesting. For me, that keeps the movie fresh and keeps me intrigued.
Yeah, no, again, it was a fun, enjoyable time for me. I just think they could have fixed up a lot of things and made it a better movie, and I definitely prefer the first one than this, or the first Jurassic World than this, Nick.
Despite how bloody and violent it got at times, I would say it's nice, wholesome watching.
Yeah.
Good bit of fun.
I don't think it was that bloody.
Well, no,
it's like, more violent, not gory, but
definitely not. Definitely not.
Could have done a lot better. It was implement a lot of scary aspects. It's a fucking dinosaur, rips some guts and shit.
It's a kid's
that
movie,
cunt got his fucking.
But I think
got his arm ripped off in the first fucking one of the Jurassic Worlds, Jurassic Parks, and you got to see his bloody stump.
Yeah,
where's the bloody stumps, guys? I want to see a
there
headless
was definitely
cunt
a lack of stumps. But no, I would just it felt really
there was a lot more violence than the first one.
Homeliness, it felt wholesome as a movie, which I thought was odd because it was still a fucking dinosaur.
It's Jurassic World though. Jurassic
Park, I think we all know what we're watching.
It's a family.
Yeah, it's a nice family fun movie. I think a lot of people are going to have fun with this. If you're the type of person that likes movies, go watch it.
Wait, one thing I will add, I'm kind of glad they cut out the kids. The two sons from the first movie, because that took a lot away from the other characters in that movie, and they're just kind of bland. Just kids running through.
They'll be in number 3.
I think it gave Bryce Dallas Howard a reason to do the shit she was doing on the first one.
Yeah,
and that's why they were there.
Yeah,
if you remove them, what are you going to do? She's a different character.
That's what you're going to do.
I think her motivation in this one was better though, because it's more in that it's kind of forced motivation. The first one, it's like, oh, my nephews are in trouble, I've got to help. This one is kind of like she believes that the dinosaurs should be treated like everyone. Like other endangered species and things like that. She has true motivation, essentially.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah. That is...
Because really, what was the purpose of the other two kids, other than to get Bryce Dallas... Howard's
that's the thing. Why and that's the way she was. That was the character development you saw in the first one. And that was something we didn't... in the first one, you see her go and... go from that character that doesn't give a shit about her nephew, doesn't even know their fucking ages, to start trying to save their life. So... it's a cat though. How freaked out can you get?
Hear the cat right now. She's right up here. I don't like cats. Leave me alone.
You're scared of it.
Scared of it.
You don't,
dude. If you're
you're
scared of cats, what are you gonna do on a dinosaur? You're gonna be worse than that character in the film.
Dinosaurs.
You're actually gonna shit your pants. I mean, I probably would too, but
probably.
Mine be a dignified shit. Yours would be a
dignified shit.
Man,
we'll leave that for another story.
I think we'll wrap it up there, guys. Thank you for listening to episode 4. We will return next week. We got Sicario.
Day of the Salada.
Yeah, will be our movie next week.
Day of the Salada.
I'm impressed.
That's the movie I want to see.
I was going to say I'm very impressed with your smoothness and pronunciation there. But
then we got Ant-Man the following week, which Nick will not be here for.
I'm going to try and do a pop-in, boys. You might get me over phone correspondence. It will
We're not
sound
calling
like
you
shit.
in. We're not calling you in, Nick. Staying on.
You probably won't even see the movie by that stage.
I'm hoping I will. Internationally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finish
Not
up,
with us.
finish-
I don't
Go
think it's
another
highly
tangent.
likely. Don't. I
Okay.
would not.
Don't hold your breath, fans.
Yeah. Don't expect Nick on the Ant-Man episode. Is what we're.
Yeah.
What was it? But we do have
I will
another
be
episode.
here, but I'll be very small, and you won't hear me.
We have another episode, probably the episode after that, which will be something a little bit different, not about a movie, but about the whole year so far of movies. So look forward to that in 2 or 3 episodes.
Are we good for Neil Patrick Harris? Is he hosting?
Yes.
Yes.
Me doing a Neil Patrick Harris impersonation is hosting.
Oh.
That's all we could afford.
And
I'm expecting payment for
and I'm
that.
suddenly
Nothing
sick that
else,
week.
of course.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I'll do a Solo Man podcast. Best one so far.
That's gross. All right. Thank you guys for listening. We will see you again next week. Bye.
Bye. Last words.